afternoon, everyone. This is RAND, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Thursday, September 19 already, 2024. It left at 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We're having a reverse aging health call and all the rest tomorrow night at a little after 9:15 p.m. Eastern. You may have experienced this. I know that I don't think any of us are exempt from it. There isn't much that we can do to convince a super worried mind that a negative outcome is not coming ahead. It's kind of like a biochemical cocktail has been created in the worry-filled brain that make it quite challenging, almost painful to believe in positive thoughts. You ever been in that situation? The worrier feels at home and life is somewhat under control if it keeps thinking negative thoughts. Isn't that wild? The worried brain cocktail generates this right feeling that we should be worried and continue on this path, being even more serious and concerned about any potentiality, highly critical or important life situation. And the worried mind cannot trust life or take a vacation, period. It's never a good time to joke around, have any fun, appreciate our spiritual nature, or celebrate being alive today. Now, when this cocktail of worried biochemicals have taken over the brain, it is so powerful that the only place to find any freedom or clarity is by shifting gears into a higher consciousness. When we interject a steady stream of pure awareness into our mind, we slowly stop believing that our fearful fantasy is going to manifest. The energy of pure consciousness acts like a river of clean, clear flowing water, which purifies away the negative ideas, which have little foundation in reality. And by simply being aware of our consciousness for a few minutes, we can instantly release our ego's need to be afraid and in control. You ever been in a situation where you didn't have control? How did you feel? Yeah, because we're always trained and programmed on this planet to be in control. Got to be in control. Got to be in control. Have you ever been in a situation where you're not in control? And if you remember that, how was it for you? We can begin to sip a deeper, succulent experience of this life that feels open, trusting, and loves enjoying the sensations of a deeper relaxation inside. The normal self is the mind. The mind is with limitations. But pure consciousness is beyond limitations. It is reached by investigation into the I, Romana Maharishi. And I believe we've all experienced this more than once. You can sit there. You can tell a worried mind several million times not to worry. Yet the reason why it continues worrying is that it is uneducated. It's ignorant. It doesn't know how to relax the body, love the mystery, and trust in a perfect future. It thinks too much, feels too powerless, and feels the need to be in control of it all. Yet when it imagines some fearful scene is occurring, it believes its thoughts are having no energetic impact on the outer environment or people. The worried mind is ignorant of what quantum physics has proven the past 50 years, that thoughts are things that impact our world. You imagine that. See, the worried mind is ignorant to that fact, right? That thoughts are things that impact our world. Can you feel it? My question to you is, in this very now moment, can you feel on this planet, yeah, and I'm saying with caution, you don't, and you're not in it, you're not stepping in it, you're observing, but can't you feel it? The worry, the stress, the fear, the anxiety, the depression. I mean, there's no way you cannot feel that. You feel it. Different ways. You want to know what that is? It's all these energetic frequencies coming from all the rest of us on the planet. And yet, when the mind imagines some fearful scene is occurring, it believes its thoughts are having no energetic impact on the outer environment at all. But that's not true. Every thought and feeling we have is impacting our environment, community, and the entire world on some level. For example, it has been proven that a being who you're emotionally close with on the other side of the world can feel it when you shift into a highly emotional state of love, anxiety, or fear. This is what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter where we're at. It really doesn't. You're going to feel it. And we feel it in different ways. Some of us will suppress it. We just kind of kick it away. I don't really care to go there. That's just dank. It's just, it isn't something that I care to indulge in, right? But we feel these energies, these frequencies. They're coming from other parts of us all over the planet. We know that, we know people are prone to doing business with those who live from a state of trust, faith, and connection. Rather than, now this is very important because on this planet at this time, and none of us are exempt from it, there is a flood. It's like a waterfall, right? Of emotions and energies that they're always here, yes. But these are heightened. They're highly stimulated ones. And this is what happens, people, they become, this is why I say, you choose. Like we know people are more prone to doing business with those who live from a state of trust, faith, and connection, rather than worry and fear. We are able to manifest, magnetize, and attract the right people and situations we want when our heart is resonated with the feeling that everything is going to be fine. Now, you can't do that. You negate it when you catch yourself going into not trusting anything or anyone. It's easy to do. We've all done it. Where you get into that area where you just don't trust anybody. You don't trust anybody, you don't trust anything. You're always questioning everything, but not to a positive degree. It's always on a negative vernacular. It's what happens, we get sucked into it, and the next thing you know, we're just being submerged into it. And I've been that way. Have you ever been that way? You ever been in this life where you got to the point where you didn't trust anybody or anything, and you were always derogatory in your mind about what was going on and what was going to be happening, and it was always on the dark edge of it? It was never on the light edge, and whenever you tried to go to the light edge, it flipped back to the dark edge. Very dangerous. It almost destroyed me at one time. And I was fortunate enough to pull myself out of it because it gets so destructive. It debilitates one, and it shifts your whole perspective, vibrational frequency, and everything into an entirely different realm, and you literally don't trust anything or anyone. It's really rough. It's not fun at all. This is why when I see this or I feel it coming in, I give it a big hug and send it on its way. The more we understand, comprehend the deep power we each hold in every thought we think, the easier it will become to step back from the worried mind and transcend it. Now, if we cannot step away from the mind, then we are a mere slave to its forces. When you look at your worries directly, you may see that they typically are directed at the outer world, right? Most of the time, yeah? The mind tends to get hooked on thoughts about possessions, money, situations, home life, or physical body. What other people think, if our loved ones are doing okay, and what we will manifest in our future. Now, the untrained mind can worry about anything. Anything. I'm not kidding. Is that fly going to die today or not? I wonder, Maybe it'll be tomorrow. I wonder what diseases it's carrying. It is a real creative genius that will poke around every possible fearful corner. Now, we talk about the mind. It is an illusion, but it's there, okay, as an illusion. And we're not the mind. We're not anywhere near that. We're not the mind. We are the God in the body. And sometimes that mind will worry about our loved ones, thinking that this is a form of caring about them. Have you ever done that? You ever, you have a loved one and you're concerned because they're ill. You're worried because they're ill. And maybe if they're in the hospital and you go into the hospital and you go into their room and you go, man, they look horrible. You don't say that, of course. And you go, wow. And you feel because it's part of you. This is why we become so forlorn with those we love. And I believe anyone. I really do. So instead of seeing them as they are, you see them as young, vibrant, healthy, and happy. Genuinely through the heart-mind. That's how you see them. You really want to help them? That's how you see them. Now, we might even feel guilty, right? If they don't worry about them. Thinking that not worrying or fearing for their life means we don't truly care about them. The problem with this is that this worrying energy is sending out a negative vibration of fear that is unhealthy, untrusting, unsupportive, and actually pulls their loved ones down energetically. Unsupportive and actually pulls their loved ones down energetically. When we worry about someone, right? It energetically drains the life force of another person, cutting off our trusting relationship with them and causing them to feel more isolated and lonely in this universe. It's a habit. We all do it, Even when you are aware to a certain extent, you go, oh, here, I'm not going to do this. I don't care to do this anymore. So you be aware. Be aware. This worry, stress, fear is a highly unconscious habit that can be more addictive than cocaine or crack cocaine. It can completely destroy a life that was potentially filled with joy, love, and laughter. If we don't learn how to transcend this addictive mindset, the energy can even implode within ourselves. And when this becomes self-abusive, we perpetually doubt who we are, why we are here, what we are doing, and fear being wrong about everything we say and feel. We can end up doubting our lives on every level. And this can evolve into an insanely stressful way of being that manifests into a psychosomatic dis-ease and eventually death. And I've seen people do this to themselves. And you know what? You cannot intervene no matter what you do. It bounces right off. And this is something to be very concerned about. It's vital to create a new response to life where we are deeply appreciating and trusting each moment, feeling the great goodness of this life that is naturally here and all around us now. How many times have you been told growing up or in this adult life, do not worry, right? Don't worry about it, Frank. Don't worry about it, Ed. Don't worry about it, Alice. Now, as a suggestion, first thing is to own the fact that every single worried thought that you have is being generated by you. Nobody else. You. You are the one creating it. And so you are the one who can stop creating it. If you don't take responsibility for it, you cannot stop it. You simply investigate what is happening inside, and you'll see that your mind is focusing on what it does not want to think, have, do, imagine, feel, experience, or manifest. When you take responsibility for this, knowing you are the master and authority of your next thought process, and can simply choose to focus on whatever you want to focus on, you begin investing your time and energy into something fun, uplifting, trustworthy, and new. Isn't it empowering to know that we can imagine anything we want at any time? And that new thought process will impact our experience of reality. What if all your time was spent focusing on what you do want to manifest? Because you know what? The majority of people on this planet in this very now moment are focused on what they don't want. How would your body feel by the end of the day? When you see that it all boils down to focusing on what you want. You empower yourself to only visualize something wonderful each day. It doesn't have to be humongous. You begin to imagine the warm rays of sunshine reaching into your heart as your feet are cozily nestled in the warm sand, as you're gazing at the orange and pink sunset across the ocean. This thought alone creates an instant happy cocktail in your brain that can relieve you of those thoughts which were dwelling in that dark, smelly garbage bin, overflowing with anxiety and fear. Can you see it? Now, there's a very powerful method to becoming worry-free, which is perhaps the most powerful of them all. This is the backbone to getting rid of the worry vibe from your life forever. Forever, forever. And this huge discovery here comes in learning the fine habit of how to replace worry with wonder. Instead of fearing what might occur, how many people right now on this planet, on the surface of this planet, in this very now moment, right? That are worried about what can happen. So instead of fearing what might occur, replace it with being curious and wondering what might occur. Realize that there are an infinite number of possible outcomes that could manifest at any moment in our future, in your future, all day long. Remain in a constant state of curiosity. You cannot be so arrogant to think that you actually know exactly what this universe has in store for you, or anyone for that matter. And as you begin to open the door of wonder, you start tapping into this awesome sense of innocence inside. Doesn't it feel like your heart is a newborn flower opening its petals to the sun? Just for a few moments right now, allow your heart to feel any feelings you can summon of pure innocence and goodness. Remember what it was like when you were a fresh newborn baby who knew absolutely nothing, playing in the dirt, making sandcastles, looking at a butterfly passing by. Recall what life was like to be curious about everything. We are always relating to this life in a state of awe about every little thing around us. We see this amazing universe of what it truly is. This is the path of perpetual curiosity. And it destroys worry instantly every single time. Your choice to implement this simple curiosity switch. The moment you find your mind worrying, with a bit of practice, the mind will shift gears automatically and will be replacing worry with wonder for you each and every time. You'll soon discover that your time on this earth will naturally be filled with wonder, making every day absolutely wonderful. Interesting quote statement from Lawrence Lashan. Don't worry about what the world wants from you. Worry about what makes you come more alive. Because what the world really needs are people who are more alive. Another powerful tool to transcending our worry is to strengthen our mental discipline and focus. When the reins on the mind are too loose or too tight, you know those wild worry horses inside will go crazy and trample all over your life. We've all had it. Every day we need to strengthen our spiritual connection. Every day, every moment, to our innermost being. This manifests through opening our heart to nature and creating roots in spiritual trust with wings of divine curiosity. When we simply trust that this life is always guiding us towards a greater and higher good, we can rest easy inside. We can remain open and curious each day along the journey and allow the spiritual goodness to find us wherever we may be. Those of us who have been playing the worrying game for years and years and years, it's like I've known people that maybe you've experienced this, that you don't even have to say anything at all, but you get around them, and you automatically go, "Are you okay?" And they go, "Okay," and they go, "Yeah, why?" "Well, you seem to be, I don't know, just kind of distraught or worried about something." Have you ever done that? Of course, they're going to, in most cases, they'll withdraw. They won't come out and say, "You're right, I'm worried about this," or whatever. So it's almost like they turn into some kind of a worry zombie. Always worried about something. It's always something. But you don't, like I said, you pick it up, and you just as an observer, you go, "Whoa, I'm not interested in that. That's their gig. That's not my gig." So when we, with our awareness, strengthen our spiritual connection to our innermost being, this manifests through opening our heart to nature and creating roots in spiritual trust with wings of divine curiosity, when we simply trust that life is always guiding us towards a greater and higher good. Then we can rest easy inside. We can remain open and curious each day along the journey and allow the spiritual goodness to find us wherever we may be. Those of us, we play this worry zombie. You feel you are not used to trusting in life, feel numb to love, lightness, joy, or orgasmic pleasure. You could have become a zombie. To step out of the zombie zone, pull back strong on your mind's reins. Steer those crazy horses back into the soft green pleasure pasture of the heart. Hold the mind firm on the energy and feeling of trust. Feel that one positive thing that you love in this life is here now, and give it all of your appreciation. Devote yourself to trusting life and repeat and feel all day long that you are now trusting life. Be committed to living in a state of wonder. This inner devotion to you will change everything for the better. Inner devotion for you. Use your breath. It's a wonderful vehicle, a wonderful tool. It's very powerful. Use your breath to expand out of your worried mind, your stress, anxiety, fear. Enhance your positive state of being. It only takes about 30 seconds to make this change. You just inhale slowly for 10 seconds. Hold your breath for 10 seconds and exhale slowly. Not where you're, you don't need to try way too hard. You breathe in, hold it for 10 seconds, and breathe out. In through the nose, out through the mouth. It's kind of like in with the good, out with the bad. Inhale slowly. Trusting energy is growing inside of you. Practice this breath cycle for 3 minutes, and you'll find yourself entering a very calming, centered state of mind with a peaceful, still awareness. If you cannot find a few minutes to breathe, okay? If you cannot find a few minutes to breathe, just even take one long, deep breath into your heart the moment worry creeps in. You will create a more expansive, relaxed sensation in the chest, and you'll be able to instantly step back from the worried mind. And be aware that that awareness is always the main core ingredient needed for creating a worry-free mind. Anytime you find your mind beginning to worry about anything, retreat back into what is aware. Step back into the ever-present witness of the mind. Be the observer, not the participator. Be the one watching the thoughts float by without participating in their drama or story. Witnessing means having no attachment to the outcome. You're just witnessing, observing, whatever words you want to use, watching. You're not participating. Witnessing means having no attachment to the outcome. This is one of the most essential and instantly effective worry-reversing habits you can practice. And don't, to permanently move your head out of the land of Worryville forever, you'll want to take a long, deep, honest look at what your personal worry issues are typically about. Why are you so attached to these particular issues and not those other things? Get curious about the subtleties around this habit, and you'll find out what your innermost fears are and why they are there. Explore, investigate, and then digest what your soul is truly longing to experience. Get to know yourself more deeply and intimately. We don't do that. We really got to do that more as a civilization. Get to know yourself more deeply and intimately. You must understand the different forms of false security your ego is reaching for and why. If you ever want to fully relax into your spiritual essence and truly be free from this perpetual search for safety the ego is craving, ask yourself these questions. Now these are controversial. I've shared these before. They need to be shared constantly. But, as observers that we are, you watch things, you notice things. The way the society works. But then you command, you put together some commandments for yourself. Obey no orders except those from within. Isn't that wild? Obey no orders except those from within. The only God is life itself. Truth is within. Do not look for it elsewhere. Love is prayer. Emptiness is the door to truth. It is the means, the end, and the achievement. One that we often let slip by us. Life is here and now. Live fully awake. And as you've heard me say, I use it all the time, do not swim, float. You picture a body of water, right? Most people are swimming. It's just kind of an analogy. What happens when you just float? You're not in a race, I got to get ahead of them, I'm going to miss out. You're just floating. You're just laying down in the water floating. Not a care in the world, no stress, no fear, no worry, no nothing. You're just in a state of nothingness. Die each moment so that you are renewed each moment. Obviously, we don't mean that literally. Stop seeking that which is. is stop and see. Great quote from Amachi. Love is our true essence. Love has no limitations of caste, religion, race, or nationality. We are all beads strung together on the same thread of love. And to awaken this unity and to spread to others the love that is our inherent nature is the true goal of human life. I'll join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. An easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still, relaxed into your body. Focus on the breath rising and falling. Trust yourself. The most amazing thing occurs when you trust 100% of the time. The greatest power in this universe becomes instantly available. You suddenly find that you are living without fear, free from worry, and always looking forward to the next juicy moment of this life. Without trust, you become easily blinded by your ego's demands, which make you feel more weak, fearful, and impatient in life. With trust, you become more conscious and sensitive to the amazing light inside you that will easily shine the way in your life's darkest hours. When you learn how to continuously trust yourself 24 hours a day, you naturally start living your fullest potential. You follow the path of your highest self because you're listening closer to your heart. Trusting in yourself is the most beautiful and natural thing you can do in this life. You can simply choose to trust in and watch how your entire life unfolds so magically. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. We will return here Friday, September 20, 2024, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call, and our reverse aging health call and all the rest, a little after 9:15 p.m. Eastern. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest. Eternal gratitude at all times. No matter what's going on within you or outside of you. Open your heart and allow the magic to flow in.